Okay, let's unpack this.
Mm.
We have received, well, quite a stack of highly detailed spoilers and some speculative analysis, too.
Yes, indeed.
For one of the longest-running, most consistently dramatic fictional towns out there, Salem.
You got it.
We are diving deep into the chaos, covering late September right through into early October. And look, if you thought things might be quieting down,
Oh, no chance.
you dramatically underestimated the escalating potential of this town. It just never stops.
That is absolutely spot on. When you really dig into the source material for the next couple of weeks, you see this isn't just, your standard collection of daily dramas.
No.
It's more like a perfect storm. Seriously, a convergence of crises.
Right.
You've got genuine, sudden medical emergencies popping up, high stakes, ethically questionable business decisions being made,
Always.
ambitious and, frankly, truly absurd acts of scheming going on. And then the big one, this massive, unifying external force.
The blackout.
Exactly, the town-wide blackout that traps practically everyone and just forces secrets out into the open. It's classic Salem.
Our mission today is, well, it's comprehensive. This deep dive, it's designed not just to tell you what happened.
Which is juicy enough.
Right. But to really provide the crucial, deep-seated motivations behind it all, the history, the context, the dramatic significance that turns just a plot point into like a pivotal moment for these characters. We want you to understand the lingering chemistry, those hidden agendas, and definitely the traumatic family history that's driving basically every single character decision.
And we've kind of broken this down into 5 key escalating arcs just to make sense of it all.
Good.
We'll examine Foster's sudden, pretty severe health crisis and the heavy implications, of Theo Carver choosing to work for the, let's face it, eternally toxic Demera Enterprises.
Oh, boy.
We're definitely going to dedicate significant time to the central chaos of the Salem blackout and all the relational landmines it inevitably creates.
Always does.
And finally, we'll analyze the relentless ambition of Sophia Choi's adoption sabotage scheme, which is just wow. And the deeply mysterious, spiraling dual health crises affecting both Marlena Evans and little Rachel Black.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a dense, dramatic period, no question, and we're going right to the heart of it.
Okay, so let's start with something that seems simple on the surface. A logistical event, really. But the sources suggest it's a major visual metaphor for, like, internal stress. We're talking about the puzzling move of Stephanie Johnson. So the week starts, Kayla Brady's there helping Stephanie pack.
Standard stuff, right? Helping family move.
Except, here's the catch. Stephanie's only moving right across the hall, literally,
Yeah.
into Alex Kyriakis' place.
Yeah, this is where the writer's intent, which the spoilers really highlight, becomes fascinating. Because despite that tiny distance you could probably shout across the hall, the scene is described as just visually saturated.
With what?
A sheer volume of moving boxes and packing tape. It's apparently almost absurd how much stuff there is.
Like, comically so.
The sources even suggest the props department maybe had a little fun with the sheer scale of unnecessary packaging. Like, who needs 10 boxes to move across a hallway?
Okay, so that mountain of boxes,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really about moving belongings, is it? It's more a visual signifier.
Exactly, of Stephanie's internal turmoil.
It reflects the emotional weight of the change.
Mm-hmm.
And Kayla, she's the expert observer, she specifically wonders if Stephanie is nervous about this major step.
Absolutely. The writers are clearly using that physical burden, all those boxes, to represent the psychological weight of commitment.
Makes sense.
I mean, if moving across the hall feels like she's dismantling her whole life to move across the country,
Yeah.
it signals that Stephanie is genuinely grappling with the reality of living together, of committing to Alex. So this simple logistical task, it gets transformed into a major emotional hurdle.
Turning a quick chore into a vital character conversation about what? Fear and the future.
Pretty much. It's actually a very clever way to introduce that relational tension early in the week, using just visuals and a few lines.
Okay, smart. Now, pivoting quickly from that kind of relational tension to a genuine medical emergency, let's talk about the bookstore crisis.
Right, this one hits hard.
So Abe Carver and Julie Williams are together. They're chatting with Foster, the bookstore owner, looking at paperwork.
And the speculation there?
The prevailing speculation, is that Abe and Julie might be thinking about acquiring the bookstore together, maybe as a new joint venture, which honestly sounds kind of wonderful.
It would be a real community-focused thing for them.
But that potential moment of, joy and community, it gets instantly and severely overshadowed.
Yeah, by an acute medical incident, Foster suddenly grabs his head. and it's described as excruciating pain.
Oh, wow.
The severity is really underlined by the possible diagnoses listed in the source material. They're talking aneurysm, stroke, severe migraine, maybe even a tumor.
So definitely not minor.
No, this is not a mild fainting spell. This is flagged as a genuinely critical, potentially life-threatening emergency. Needs immediate action.
And the immediate fallout is, well, it's classic Salem community drama, isn't it? Led by Julie's decisive nature.
Absolutely. She wastes zero time. Rushes Foster straight over to University Hospital.
Where Kayla takes over.
Dr. Caleb Brady takes over his care, yes. But the emotional anchor here, and the spoilers really emphasize this, is Julie's unwavering support.
What does she do?
She promises Foster personally that she will manage the bookstore for him, tells him, focus entirely on your health or whatever choice you need to make, whether that's recovering in Salem or maybe moving closer to other family. She's got his back.
That really highlights that deep sense of loyalty and community. It's what keeps Salem ticking, right?
Yeah.
Even when tragedy hits someone maybe on the periphery of the core families.
It really does. It's a reminder of the good side of that town. But if we want to talk about true deep-seated danger, the kind rooted in Salem history, we have to transition to the DiMera shadow.
Okay.
Which is now hanging right over Theo Carver. So Abe's bonding with his son Theo over a meal seems nice. Paulina Price, naturally, encourages Theo to accept Tony DiMera's job proposal at DiMera Enterprises.
Which, on paper,
From a purely corporate standpoint, it sounds like an amazing opportunity for a young guy like Theo. Big company, lots of potential.
But, and it's a huge but, Theo's potential new job comes loaded with devastating family baggage. Abe's reaction is described as, like, extreme reservation.
Yeah.
And is absolutely critical for you, the listener, to understand why.
This is where we really need to pull back and look at the history. Abe's intense caution isn't just, generic parental worry about working for some cutthroat corporation.
No, it's personal.
It is deeply rooted in personal trauma and the toxic legacy of the DiMera family. We have to remember Abe's late wife, Theo's mother, Lexi Carver.
Right.
She died because she was exposed to toxins in the infamous DiMera tunnels.
Those tunnels. They're legendary for all the wrong reasons.
They are synonymous with criminal enterprise, nefarious schemes, death. Everything bad in Salem history seems to connect back to those tunnels eventually.
So the DiMera name, for Abe, it's not just a business brand. It's literally like a lethal poison.
Precisely. And that historical context completely transforms Abe's advice. Every single time Theo even considers working for them, Abe isn't just giving career advice.
He's issuing a warning.
A life and death warning born of profound grief. He specifically cautions Theo to use discernment. That's the key word.
Discernment, yeah.
This isn't just a potential career path for Theo. It's potentially a generational curse repeating itself. The Carvers getting drawn back into the DiMera orbit, which historically only brings tragedy and loss for them.
Wow. So the spoilers are really setting up a massive tension here between opportunity and inherited trauma.
Exactly. It's huge. #TAG3, Sophia's elaborate adoption sabotage scheme.
And speaking of toxicity and maybe generational curses, that theme carries right over into the next generation of scheming, led by Sophia Choi.
Oh, yes, Sophia.
Her plot isn't just about, like, simple jealousy, is it? It feels like calculated destruction.
It absolutely is calculated, and it starts, ironically, with a moment of perceived bliss. Chanel Dupree and Johnny DiMera are apparently really excited about adopting baby Testo.
That's nice for them.
They're openly discussing their plans, full of hope, for their future family, and then...
There's Sophia.
Lurking nearby, overhearing them, and her reaction is immediate, visceral alarm, like panic stations.
Okay, that alarm, that's the catalyst for her whole scheme then.
Yeah.
What specifically triggers such a panicked reaction in her?
The source material is really clear on this. Sophia's core worry is this. The adoption is happening that close to Tate Black.
Oh.
This is critical because of Sophia's own hidden history. Her deep-seated fear is that if Johnny and Chanel adopt this baby, and maybe, just maybe, if the baby somehow resembles a hypothetical child Tate and Sophia might have had...
Which points right back to her initial manipulation of Tate.
Exactly. It would raise unwanted questions. Scrutiny about her past actions, her paternity manipulations. She's basically terrified her past secrets involving kids and paternity are going to get exposed just by proximity to this new adopted child.
Wow. That is the absolute definition of narcissistic self-preservation scheming, isn't it?
Pretty much.
She's not worried about the baby's welfare. She's stressed that the baby might accidentally shine a light on her own history of deceit.
Bingo.
So to, like, operationalize this anxiety, she seeks out a known master of chaos and legal manipulation.
Melinda Trask.
Melinda Trask, of course.
Sophia is incredibly stressed. She meets with Melinda, and this partnership is just, it's perfect in its malice, really.
Melinda Trask, the morally flexible former DA.
Remember, she always has a scheme at the ready, and more importantly, she really understands how to manipulate the legal system.
Which is crucial if you want to derail an adoption.
Absolutely. Sophia needs an outside strategist because she's dealing with legal stuff here, the adoption review process. She needs a way to create chaos that looks completely unrelated to her actual motive, her fear about date.
And Melinda is the person who can turn Sophia's personal anxiety into a massive strategic disaster for Johnny and Chanel, probably using some kind of legal leverage.
That seems to be the angle. Melinda's the expert schemer she needs.
And Sophia moves fast, shockingly fast. She's actually drawing comparisons in the source material to, wait for it,
Oh, I know this one.
Salem's younger generation of Jan Spears.
Oof. That is a horrifying comparison.
It really is, given Jan's history. Stalking, violence, manipulation, especially framing people sexually, emotional destruction.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Very bad.
And Sophia immediately links her plan to the impending Salem blackout.
Right. She doesn't just scheme during the blackout. She actively weaponizes the chaos it provides.
Yeah.
The exact plan is, well, it's shocking in its cold calculation.
Lay it on us.
Sophia plans to take pictures of Holy Jonas with her phone during the power outage. Then she'll send those pictures to Johnny.
Okay.
But she's going to frame the images maliciously to suggest or make it look like Johnny does something inappropriate with Holly.
Oh my God. That's incredibly dangerous.
Then,
And just destructive.
yeah.
An escalation.
Huge escalation.
What's the ultimate goal? What does she hope to achieve with that specific stunt?
The intent is pure, comprehensive destruction. That's the only way to put it. She wants to cause problems across the board by creating irreparable suspicion between Johnny and Chanel. The goal is simple. Split them up, distract them, ruin Johnny's reputation. And by doing all that, immediately ruin their shot at adopting baby Testo.
Wow.
It is an extremely high-stakes, manipulative move designed to leverage the chaos and darkness of the blackout for maximum, hopefully untraceable collateral damage against her rivals.
It really proves that the apple doesn't fall far from the rotten scheming tree in Salem, does it?
Not even close. She's fitting right in.
Okay, the town blackout. It's one of Salem's great dramatic devices, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it always delivers.
It forces characters into these close, high-pressure situations, sometimes romantic, often highly conflicted.
And always ensures secrets get dragged into the light. Or, well, into the darkness first, then the light.
Exactly. So we have multiple key pairings that get trapped this time, forcing confrontations.
Let's start with Chad DiMera and Kat Green. They've been, enjoying this secretive romantic relationship.
Sneaking around.
Yeah, and they need a new, discreet meeting place. The Salem Inn gets mentioned as a possibility. Their relationship is already complicated just by their need for basic secrecy.
Right, and the problem, of course, is logistics. Chad lives at the Horton house, which puts them right under Felicity Green's nose, Kat's mom, making casual secret meetups nearly impossible.
Yeah, that's tricky enough. But they're sort of domestic troubles. They're about to be completely overshadowed by a massive external threat.
Oh.
This is where we need to weave in some crucial historical context again. Their relationship, already complicated by, lying.
Yeah.
It's facing a severe new external threat because Kat's brother, Dr. Mark Green, is getting parole.
Dr. Mark Green. Okay, refresh my memory. Why is he significant?
Okay, for you listening, if you need the context, Mark Green is the individual who previously almost killed Chad on Clyde's orders.
Whoa. Okay, almost killed Chad.
Yeah. This wasn't just some minor squabble. Mark Green was acting under duress from the town crime boss, Clyde Weston.
Clyde, of course.
Making his parole not just an awkward family reunion, but a direct threat connected right back to Salem's organized crime history.
The sheer dramatic irony of that. It's immense. Chad is now potentially dating the sister of the man who, under orders from a crime boss, tried to murder him.
Yeah. The spoilers say Chad is unlikely to welcome this development.
Understatement of the year. Imagine that family dinner. Hi, Mark. Remember me, the guy you tried to kill.
Exactly. It creates instant, severe tension that has absolutely nothing to do with their romantic chemistry. Chad now has to manage this new, potentially dangerous presence in Kat's life.
Which will definitely complicate their fragile, sort of semi-official relationship.
And make that need for a new cover story even more urgent than before.
Okay, moving on to another high-pressure trapping scenario. This one promises to revisit some old flames. E.J. DiMera and Belle Black.
Ah, yes, EJ and Belle.
Belle is described as cornering E.J. She's ready to air all her grievances after their explosive, very public breakup.
After that devastating court scene during Johnny's trial, yeah, she's got a list.
She had an emotional list of things she needs to get off her chest. Needs to say to him.
And as only ever happens in soap opera reality,
Right.
before she can finish the conversation, maybe before she can even really start, bang, power goes out.
And they're trapped together in a confined space.
The elevator. It's the gold standard trope for forced intimacy, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
So the spoilers immediately raise the question, the emotional consequence. They had this dramatic, chemistry-filled relationship. It ended badly, publicly. Will those old sparks fly again? Driven by the fear, the vulnerability, the darkness. An elevator is small, dark, perfect for either explosive, unresolved conflict or a passionate, impulsive reunion. There's really no middle ground there, is there?
Not in that scenario. The physical conditions just amplify the existing emotional tension. That relationship ended with a bang, and now they were forced right back into that intense bubble.
The writers are definitely banking on the fact that those lingering feelings, positive or negative, will be impossible to suppress when the lights go out.
Absolutely. High drama potential there.
Okay, now for a duo whose chemistry, despite absolutely everything, it seems almost unstoppable. Sarah Horton and Xander Cook.
Zara. Yeah.
So Sarah is actively pushing Xander to go to couples therapy, which, by the way, is an idea Marlena also enthusiastically supports.
Gives it that seal of professional approval.
Right. And naturally, where are they when the town goes dark?
Together, of course. Where else would they be?
The urgency of the blackout here, though, it seems to act as a catalyst for maybe some emotional breakthroughs, which is a nice contrast to the chaos it's causing elsewhere.
Yeah, the spoilers suggest they find some common ground during the outage. Perhaps they finally agree on the marriage counseling, realizing life's too short for all the fighting.
And the immediate physical consequence.
They share a passionate kiss, reigniting their chemistry.
Okay. That kiss is a huge leap forward. It confirms what, let's be honest, the audience has suspected all along. The chemistry is very much still alive.
Very much.
But the spoilers also inject some necessary caution right afterwards, suggesting maybe a bit of maturity in their relationship now.
This is the crucial nuance, I think. They can't just leap from being estranged, barely speaking sometimes, to full intimacy instantly. That wouldn't feel right.
No.
So the sources suggest one of them, maybe Sarah, maybe Xander, could tap the brakes on this kiss thing?
Like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah, realizing that the circumstances, the blackout, the heightened emotion maybe created a false sense of urgency, and they still need to deal with the real issues.
The therapy, the trust.
Exactly, before moving straight to physical intimacy. So that tension, the desire pulling them together versus the necessary caution pulling them back, that's the core drama of their blackout scenario.
It promises a powerful moment of truth then, but one followed by maybe a mature pause.
Hopefully, that would show some growth.
Okay, beyond these key couples, the blackout traps several other important characters too, setting up future confrontations, maybe some revelations.
Definitely. Gabi Hernandez and Philip Kiriakis get trapped together.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Given their fraught history.
Right. The source material speculates that Philip might use this forced proximity to finally bring up that listening device, the one he and Xander found.
Potentially exposing Gabi's past manipulations right to her face.
Secrets rarely survive a power outage, do they? Especially when you're trapped with the person you were trying to deceive. We also see Chanel and Felicity getting help from Alex. Spoilers suggest they might get stuck together in sweet bits.
Okay, that trio probably deals more with the logistical panic. You know, the store itself, maybe looting concerns.
Probably less personal drama, more situational.
But perhaps the most intriguing, trapping, and potentially the most dramatically significant happens to Gwen Ritchek.
Yes. Where does she end up?
She's not trapped in an office or an elevator.
Yeah.
She is trapped in a very specific, potentially compromising location, the under construction area of the hospital.
Ah, that location is vital, because this is the area where they are supposedly building the Tom Horton Free Clinic.
Right, as a public cover story.
For what the source describes as a secret science lab.
The dramatic irony of using Tom Horton's name, one of Salem's most beloved ethical founding fathers, as a cover for potentially dark science. It's huge.
It really is.
So Gwen, who is known for her sharp ears and, let's face it, her nosiness,
Definitely curious.
being trapped in that specific area certainly raises massive questions. What might she overhear? What could she discover about the facility's true, perhaps nefarious purpose?
She could easily stumble upon secrets that blow open a huge new medical or scientific plot line. Something brewing just beneath the surface of the town.
Gwen in the wrong place at the right time, or the right place at the wrong time. Either way, could be explosive. Hashtag V. Unraveling Mysteries and Escalating Stalkers, week of September 29th, October 3rd.
Right, so as the drama transitions out of the immediate chaos of the blackout and we move into the following week, the schemes and the stalkers that were kind of initiated under the cover of darkness, they start to gain significant momentum.
Okay.
Beginning with Stephanie Johnson's increasingly tense ordeal.
Right, the stalker. So Stephanie's trying to carry on with business as usual, doing some kind of Q&A session maybe online as her alter ego Anastasia Sands, or perhaps it's related to her PR work at the hospital.
Trying to maintain normalcy.
But she is acutely, painfully aware of being watched. She's being stalked by the same person we saw glimpses of the previous week.
And the suspicion is rapidly narrowing down, isn't it, towards a familiar face from the past.
Oh.
The source notes that the evidence looks increasingly like the stalker is Jeremy Horton.
Jeremy Horton. Wow, okay, blast from the past.
Definitely. However, the writers are deliberately drawing out the suspense here, keeping the camera work kind of oblique, not giving us a clear shot. The stalker's face may not be fully revealed for another week or so.
Maintaining that high level of suspense and psychological terror, really, for Stephanie. And for us watching.
Exactly. That slow reveal is designed purely to maximize the feeling of vulnerability.
Okay. Meanwhile, the secrecy surrounding Chad and Cass' relationship, that's also facing increased pressure, right?
Yeah.
Moving from that external threat Mark Green getting out to more internal suspicion.
Yeah, the biggest issue now seems to be managing the mounting suspicion from within the core DiMera family. E.J. DiMera, who is always skeptical, always observant.
Always poking around.
He's starting to question Kat about her inquiries. He senses something is decidedly off about her recent behavior.
And Chad himself.
Chad remains suspicious of Kat's conveniently placed supposed ex, the one she's supposedly been texting with.
Right, that ex story. It was maybe workable when they were just having casual encounters, secret hookups.
Yeah.
But now that they are, what did the source say, semi-officially, not officially seeing each other?
Something like that, yeah. A complicated status.
Texting with an ex suddenly becomes a massive red flag that can't be easily ignored when you're trying to build something real.
Exactly. The relationship has become, or is trying to become, more defined and serious, which makes the original lie completely problematic. The sources predict they will be forced urgently to come up with a new, more believable cover story. They need something to manage the mounting suspicion coming from both EJ's, like investigative curiosity, and Chad's own rising doubts about Kat's trustworthiness.
A relationship built on secrecy always demands more lies, doesn't it?
Always. And the writers are clearly piling them up, really testing the limits of Chad and Kat's bond here.
Okay. And we cannot let the immediate aftermath of the blackout distract us from the central driver of chaos right now, Sophia's ongoing havoc.
Absolutely not. She weaponized the darkness for her scheme.
Taking those pictures of Holly.
Right. And now the results of that calculated destruction are coming due.
Yeah.
She continues to wreak havoc, fully earning that chilling comparison to Salem's younger Jan Spears.
So the central question defining this next week is really the ultimate fallout from her blackout stunt.
Pretty much. Will Johnny and Chanel actually break up over those maliciously framed pictures she took of Holly?
It's such a terrifying tactic because it leverages past trauma and suspicion, doesn't it? Sophia already interfered disastrously with Holly and Tate's relationship, and now she is escalating her calculated destruction to a new, potentially relationship-ending level by attacking Johnny's reputation directly and using an innocent child, Holly, as a pawn in her game.
The difference, I think, between a good soap plot and a great one is when the characters consistently choose their worst instincts.
And Sophia's definitely doing that.
She is confirming her place as a prime Salem villainess, demonstrating this consistent toxic pattern of weaponizing children and manipulating sexual situations purely for personal gain. This scheme, it feels like it will define the next few months of conflict for Johnny and Chanel.
Big trouble ahead for them then.
Okay.
I think now we need to move to the dual health crises, which are particularly dramatic, really, given the central role both Marlena and Rachel play in the core families of Salem. Let's start with the town's most beloved psychiatrist, Marlena Evans.
Doc, yes.
The sources confirm she passes out again.
Yeah, another fainting spell. But despite these dramatic physical symptoms, a sudden severe fainting spell, Dr. Horton confirms that Marlena's test results all came back completely normal.
No physical explanation.
Zero. No medical reason found for her repeated fainting spells. This is classic Salem storytelling, isn't it? Where the physical symptom is always masking some larger, probably more sinister plot.
So this raises an important question. Is the fainting just related to intense stress and exhaustion? Which, let's face it, she probably has plenty of.
Could be.
Or is this related to those mysterious dreams he's been having? And given Marlena's extensive history, we have to ask, is she being subjected to some form of classic Salem mind control, hypnosis, maybe even the return of a dark influence?
That history is absolutely crucial context here. Marlena has been subjected to mind control, hypnosis, even demonic possession back in the day.
Right.
So when a physical symptom is medically unexplained for Marlena, the audience immediately and probably correctly leans toward the supernatural or the nefarious, someone messing with her head.
The deepening mystery of an unexplained physical symptom. It's key to maintaining the dramatic tension around one of the show's most central, most powerful figures. The writers are basically forcing us to wonder if a new villain is controlling her from the shadows.
Or maybe an old one.
Or an old one, true. The drama here is further compounded because Marlena's worsening symptoms are happening at the same time as a severe emotional development in the life of her granddaughter.
Right. We hear that little Rachel Black is spiraling out of control. This is a highly significant plot development. And this is where we need to bring in a crucial bit of meta-reality, sort of behind-the-scenes info, that you, the listener, need to know to understand the storytelling decision behind Rachel's imminent exit from the show.
Okay, what's the story?
The sources confirm that the actress who plays Rachel, Alice Halsey, actually finished taping her role way back in May.
Oh, okay. Why?
The reason? She was leaving to work on the reboot of Little House on the Prairie.
Wow.
Yeah, she landed the starring role, playing the main character, Laura.
Good for her. That's huge.
Fantastic opportunity for the young actress. But that real-world scheduling decision is what dictates the character's in-universe conclusion. And the writers have handled it, well, with maximum dramatic effect.
How so?
Rachel's emotional spiral, probably fueled by all the family instability, maybe even Marlena's own unexplained symptoms, it's going to lead to a temporary exit for the character. The solution written to the story: a trip to the pediatric wing of Bayview Mental Hospital.
Whoa, Bayview. That is quite a staggering contrast. Leaving Salem for the prairie in real life, but the in-universe explanation is a temporary commitment to a mental health facility.
It creates incredibly powerful dramatic irony, doesn't it? The writers are using the severity of Rachel's spiral to provide a convincing emotional exit story that serves the plot by allowing the actress to leave gracefully.
And the emotional devastation for the Black family. I mean, with Rachel temporarily institutionalized and Marlena struggling with her unexplained fainting.
It creates this powerful dual emotional exit scenario that impacts the entire canvas of the show. It gives both characters a compelling, interconnected reason to be off-screen for a while.
Wow. Heavy stuff for the Blacks. Okay, so we have covered an extraordinary amount of escalating and converging drama in just these couple of weeks. We really saw three major, distinct conflict types just collide simultaneously.
Yeah, it was Pat.
You had the immediate health crises, Foster's sudden emergency, and the mysterious illness plaguing Marlena. Then Sophia's calculated campaign of destruction against Johnny and Chanel's adoption plans.
Utter chaos there.
And finally, that forced convergence of characters during the blackout, leading to rekindled romance, maybe, for Xander and Sarah.
And dangerous entrapment for EJ and Belle, among others.
So what does this all mean for the future of Salem?
Well, I think it means the toxicity and the trauma of the past. They're never truly contained in Salem, are they?
Seems not.
We see the Dimera legacy continuing to potentially poison the next generation through Theo's job offer, and we see the enduring pattern of those iconic schemers like Jan Spears manifesting again in the devastating actions of Sophia Choi.
Yeah, the Jan Spears comparison is chilling.
The knowledge we've gained today, digging through these spoilers, it feels absolutely crucial for understanding how that past toxicity just keeps influencing the next generation's choices, their destructive patterns.
We spent significant time analyzing Abe Carver's powerful, really emotionally charged warning to Theo about the Dimera history, driven, of course, by the tragic loss of his late wife, Lexi, in those cursed tunnels.
That history, that loss, it really is the gravitational center of this particular conflict. And it leaves us with one final provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay, let's hear it.
Given Abe's powerful, trauma-driven counsel, is Theo Carver destined to tragically ignore his father, to repeat the same toxic generational pattern of Demara-related pain and deceit?
Oh.
Or will Abe's hard-won wisdom, his warning, finally be the thing that breaks the chain of devastation for the Carver family?
Will history repeat itself, or can Theo break the cycle? That's the big question hanging over him.
It really is. We'll have to wait and see.